chasing all my goals, I gotta get it. If I start something, then you know I gotta finish. Talk about life, mental health, and all the realness. If you speak on it, then you know you gotta feel
how real it is. How real it is. How real it is. How real it is. Hey, yeah.
Hey, so be sure to
What's
like,
up,
subscribe.
everybody? Welcome back to the How Real It Is podcast.
Hey,
I'm your boy Hayden THC,
it's your boy Suavee.
and today we've got a Valentine's Day special for you guys. So, we fortunately, we drop episodes every Wednesday.
Yes.
So every Wednesday, new episode, and this Wednesday just happened to fall on Valentine's Day. So we thought this would be the perfect opportunity to talk about love, talk about relationships, and really I think a lot of just kind of misconceptions we have about love.
Facts.
And I think just kind of talk about maybe like how we had like certain ideas of love that we had growing up, you know what I'm saying? And I think it's kind of different for everybody. I know
Nah,
for
for
me
real.
it's something that I've had to learn. So
Definitely.
So, all right. This is also our first episode where we actually haven't interviewed anybody. So this is going to be kind of more of an open discussion. Let us know if you guys like this format. Because don't worry, we do have more interviews coming up in the future. We're really excited about some.
Yes, we do.
But I don't know. We just kind of wanted to kind of have this talk. And again, this is something that we've talked about before a number of times. And I think it's something just because for those of you who don't know, we are married.
Oh,
Yeah.
I ain't got my ring on. But let me explain why I ain't got my ring on. Let me explain. So, my hand was swelling up, so I took my ring off. So don't be acting like I ain't over here married or whatever, because I'm married or whatever.
Yeah.
Ring ain't on. You see the ring. So, okay.
Yeah. You was ready to flash that too?
I was ready to flex like.
Yeah, we were about to Beyonce on that. Ironically, single ladies, but we not.
We ain't
single ladies no more.
We ain't single. We wasn't ladies at all.
No, we weren't ladies at all. But we're not single.
No,
either.
Not at all.
Yo, okay. So that's kind of a interesting segue, I think, to something that I know we wanted to talk about, which is so Valentine's Day is sometimes referred to by people as Single Awareness Day.
Oh my God.
And we kind of wanted to talk about this because personally for me, I think that, and this, I know this is kind of, I know immediately people are going to be like, well, that's easy to think.
Because you're in a relationship, so it doesn't matter.
But
right.
Singles Awareness Day. Look, I want to start off by saying something super duper important, which is that you do not need to be in a relationship to be okay.
Yeah, because Valentine's Day is about love, and if you love yourself, then what's the, you know what I'm saying? Celebrate it. You love yourself. It's the day that you love yourself. It's not all about couples. Like, for real, y'all look at this and y'all think, oh, it's about couples, and it's not. It's about loving yourself. Why can't you take the Valentine's Day and just go out? When I was single, before I met Hayden, I would celebrate Valentine's Day. I'd go to the movies. I'd go, you know what I'm saying? Go take myself out to eat, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a self-care day. I use it as a self-care day. A self-care day, taking care of myself and doing things that I wouldn't do, normally. So,
and that's really good. I think that's something, and this took me a while because I think I grew up in a very codependent household.
Yeah.
Where it's like, especially I saw my parents, I saw really most everybody in my family growing up have this attitude of that they had to have somebody to be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people in my family and that I knew, who were in even abusive relationships stayed there because it's that fear of being on your own is more, you know what I'm saying? Like that's more scary to people than, staying in their current situation despite how messed up that might be.
Yeah.
And so, but for me though, when I was dealing with my trauma and dealing, going through therapy and stuff like that, it was something that I learned there. Part of it was therapy and part of it was this really good book that still to this day I would say is my favorite book. It's called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So anybody who's a creative out there, I highly, highly recommend that book. And again, it's called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And one of the things that she says in there is talks about going on artist dates, where basically you take that inner artist that you have in there, even if you're not, you know what I'm saying, like trying to pursue a career in the arts in some way, shape, or form. I think in any way, this is still a really good practice. And I would go on like artist dates, quote unquote, because basically we all have, I think, even aside from an inner artist, I think we all have an inner child for sure. And I think it's important for us to spend time with our inner child. You know what I'm saying? And I think for me, it was a big deal because when I was in therapy, there would be things that I wanted to do and I would be so upset because I didn't have anyone. I didn't have any friends. You know what I'm saying? I was really upset because I was like, man, I don't have any friends. I don't have anybody to do this stuff. And it's like, well, because I was talking about with my therapist one time, like, there was like a movie I wanted to see, but I was just like bummed because I like didn't have anybody to go to the movies with. And she was just like, why don't you just go to the movies if you want to see it? You know what I'm saying? Like, don't hinge your things that you want to do and the fun that you want to have. Don't let that be dependent on other people.
Facts. Like, come on. Like, you was born alone, man. You could do anything alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? People just see, especially on Valentine's Day, people just like, oh, I see these couples and they're all hugged up and they're all out eating dinner and I just get depressed. It's like, you could get depressed or you could use this as like, oh, they're so cute together. You know what I'm saying? Let me have a good day. You know what I'm saying? Let these people inspire me. These people are inspirational. You know what I'm saying? Next time, when, time is right, you know what I'm saying? Don't just jump in a relationship because Valentine's Day is coming up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do not do that. Like, that's just insane to me. You know what I'm saying? And, it's just, come on, y'all. Like, love yourself first. Love yourself first. Yeah. And that person will come. Like, you know what I'm saying? A little backstory. So what's so crazy is I met Hayden the day after Valentine's Day.
Yep.
We met the day after Valentine's Day. So you want to tell what was going on in your life around that time?
Yeah. I'm glad we're telling the story because when we were doing our interviews, we didn't get into this, but so for me, I was living in Nashville at the time, and I was, I lived in an apartment. I lived on the top floor of an apartment, and where my building was, to get out of the apartment complex, there was this really steep hill that you had to go down and then back up. Yeah. Well, we had just had snow in Nashville, and it was iced over. Like, it was really bad by Nashville standards, and especially a couple days later, like the main roads were cool and stuff like that, but nobody had gotten around to salting and, the ice melting from that hill to get out. And I wasn't going to be able to get out. And so thankfully I just gone grocery shopping like a day or two before that, because I kind of, I lived in Nashville long enough to know that there was a possibility that I could just be snowed in. And so I was. And so there was a whole week where I wasn't able to go to work and I was snowed into my apartment. And so I was, chilling as one does when they're snowed in. And and I was on Facebook, and Stan had posted a couple times in this group, you know what I'm saying? And he was really cute and it caught my eye. No. And so, I kind of, love the heart reacted to a couple pictures and stuff and done the little heart eye emojis. And then this man was like, all right, so when you going to DM me? And I was like, all right, I will. Yeah, and I did. Man. I slid into the DMs.
I was like, you know what I'm saying? And the point in my life, I was just switching jobs. I worked the whole pandemic, and I was just switching jobs. So I wasn't working at the moment. And yeah, I was scrolling on Facebook, and I was in this group, and I saw Hayden liking a few of my pictures, and I was like, oh shit, like, okay, he's a nice looking man, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh, okay, so he's just liking my pictures. So yeah, man, I had to shoot my shot and was like, when you gonna message me? Like, why like my pictures? Just message me. Let's talk, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's how it happened. And this was the day after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, okay, cool. Like, you know, Valentine's Day though, that day before the Valentine's Day, I was chilling though. I was at home. I remember it. I was chilling. Like, you know, I literally made myself a dinner. Like, I had bought me some wine. I was just in my room chilling. Like, wasn't on Facebook scrolling like, oh, they think they all that because they booed up. And it was like, no, like, I'm not worried about that. Like, I was literally, happy Valentine's Day, guys. You guys are so cute together. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, giving everybody their love, you know, the props, like, you know, but I was never on no, like, anti-Valentine's Day. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like.
Yeah, because, spoiler alert, when we post each other on Valentine's Day, it's not for you.
It's not for you.
Because we don't do that to like make people jealous or any sort of thing. No, it's because we love each other, and that's a way that we can express that love for each other.
Exactly.
And yeah, just like you were saying, it's like one of the things that I think why we worked and why we still work so well is just because we were okay. We were both before each other, before we came along in each other's lives.
Totally.
We were cool.
We were totally fine being single. We were totally fine being single. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't on no like, oh, I want to be with you. And he was like, oh, I want to be with you too. It was like, all right, whatever happens, happen. Like, we took it slow. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, it just happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was more so of what we had in common. Music, you know?
Yeah, that's where our first conversation really centered around.
We love cooking. Like, you know what I'm saying? We love traveling.
Yep.
It was all about that. We didn't even think about being in a relationship. It wasn't even, I don't know. It wasn't even a thought yet. You know, I was just getting to know a person. You know what I'm saying? Hey, buddy, how are you? Like, he was like, hey, I'm good. I'm like, oh, I see you do music. He's like, yeah, I see you do music too. You know what I'm saying? It was just a natural conversation.
Yep. And that's the thing. Everything with us just happened very naturally and very like effortlessly. It's like nothing was forced.
Right.
Nothing was, I don't know. And that's the thing where it's just like, yeah, I mean, especially it was the first time we ever like FaceTimed, because we were long distance.
Yeah.
We were long distance because he was in California, I was in Nashville, and we were long distance for 4 months, 4 or 5 months. Yeah. And so it was it was crazy because like that first time we FaceTimed, I literally immediately, I mean, first of all, we were on FaceTime for like almost 6 hours and like didn't even notice. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like what time is it? It's crazy.
I was like, yo, I gotta go. I got stuff to do. I gotta go grocery shopping. And he was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, and I get off the phone and I think I text him. I was like, dude, we were on FaceTime for like 6 hours.
I know.
I was like, that was insane. Like, you know, and it didn't even seem like 6 hours.
Not at all.
Like 20 minutes for real.
No,
like,
for real.
And we were just getting to know each other, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we meshed, and that's how we vibed for real. So
and I knew like from that moment I was like, ooh, this is different. This is different. This is different right here. You know, because this is probably because Stan's like the 4th serious relationship that I've been in, and this felt markedly different than my previous relationships in a really good way. You know, and I literally went out and talked to my roommates like immediately after that for advice. You know what I'm saying? Mostly just because it's like I was kind of in like a situationship thing. I don't know, but it was a very BS relationship, honestly, and it was kind of a little bit on again, off again, especially towards the end there, and so I was just kind of like. You know, it was kind of, that person was still kind of there in the periphery a little bit, but I felt like this was different, and so I'm just like, yo, like, I think I got to let go of this other like person who was kind of just there, you know what I'm saying? And because I was like, I don't know. And I think too, for me, it was like I kind of resigned myself to, not saying that I didn't think that it, like, there might have been a part of me that was like, maybe didn't feel like I deserved a real relationship, but I'd never really been like, first of all, I've never been loved the way that he loves me ever in my life.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and it's tough because in a lot of ways it's like, it's weird, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I'm so not used to that feels weird and feels, that's why I was just like, yo, like, do I, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think I could settle for something in somebody who didn't really want me, which was the case from my previous kind of relationship. But I was just like, you know what? And I kind of resigned myself to like, all right, you know what? Even if anything, this doesn't go anywhere, you know what I'm saying? When we first started talking, I was just kind of like, even if, you know, this doesn't go anywhere, it's still something I deserve that opportunity to give myself. And that's the thing, I think, just kind of allowing myself to be free of that. And then again, everything just, nothing was forced again. Like we really just, everything happened very naturally. And that's how I felt like it was right. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I can say is like, neither one of us were looking. Neither one of us were just like, oh, I hope this person can be my Prince Charming and make it all, you know what I'm saying? And make everything better. It's like, no, make your own life better. Like, that's the thing.
Facts.
Like,
we had our own path. Like, we had our own stuff going on, and it just came together, like, for real, because Hayden was in a process. He was in Nashville at the moment, but he was in a process of moving to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I was working. I was about to be a security supervisor. I had my own little thing going. I was about to move out of where I was staying. I was about to try to get my own place. It wasn't you know what I'm saying? It was just, we had our own stuff going on. But like, once our relationship got more, closer and closer, we were just like, all right, so now what? Like, what are we going to do? Cause I'm about to start a new career. You're about to start a new career. Where is this going to take us? You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, so, this was in March. We met in person. So we started talking in February. We met in March in person. We met in Vegas. And you know what I'm saying? We hit it off. Like, you were just like, okay, cool. We knew we liked each other online, and but when we met each other in person, we were like, all right, bro, like, now what? You know what I'm saying? I went back to Cali. He went back to Nashville. And you know what I'm saying? It was just like, damn, like, that was amazing. But like, what now? You know what I'm saying? So we met then. And then you
came out to
Nashville.
Nashville.
I came to Nashville. I went to visit him in
April.
Nashville in April. I went to visit him. And that's how you know it was real. This is how you know it was real. So we went to I met him in Nashville in April, right? He was, he was in the process of getting his place in Atlanta. When I was there in in Nashville with him, the people called and said, oh, you got approved for your place, right? He got approved for his place, and he was like, oh, do you want to drive to Atlanta so I can give them the deposit or whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So we drive to Atlanta. I meet his mom for the first time. I never talked to her. I never talked to her on the phone. I meet her for the first time.
That's true.
We
that's
go to,
so true. That's right.
Of course, you know what a mom does. She's like, all right, are you ready for my son? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I peep her just staring at me as we're at dinner, and she's staring at me, and I'm just like, oh, she's staring, like, oh no, she likes me or not. And all of a sudden, like, she was just like, oh, so you're in California and Hayden's about to move to Atlanta. So when are you moving to Atlanta?
I was like, yo, I know. I was like, yo, mom.
He turned red. He was like, mom, you what?
We have not had that conversation yet.
Chill out. And I was like, and I just laughed, and I was like, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? But in my head, I'm just like, I mean, I would move to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, keeping it real, his career was more important than mine.
Well, I don't want to say it was even about that. I think too, it's like you, and you know, when you get back and just kind of like your living situation was not,
my living situation,
you know what I'm saying, was not the best.
It wasn't the best.
And I don't know. That's why, and I could tell you weren't happy.
Nah,
you know what
I
I'm
wasn't.
saying?
And keeping it real, I wasn't happy.
There.
But I dealt with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Again, I dealt with the situation, and I was stacking, and you know what I'm saying. I had a little money saved, and I was almost out of there. Like, you know what I'm saying. I was almost out of the situation I was in. I was going to get in a better situation, but just, you know, you came in that same time in my life, so it just you know made it happen.
Yeah.
And so again, like, you know, his mom was like, "Oh, when are you moving here?" And I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. And so,
I was like, Mom,
it was crazy.
I love you, but that was a little out of pocket.
It was over.
It was a little out of pocket for that.
So we and Hayden got back, and he was just like, "So when are you moving out here?" And I was like, "Bro,
I thought about it.
What?" Like, I was like, "What?" You know, and again, I think I brought this up in the first episode, but I was like, I'm not leaving. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And so we talked about it, and, you know, at first I told him no, and then I was like, why not? Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's why not move and start over? So I did, and look, you know what I'm saying? We still here. We still rocking.
Here we are.
Straight up.
Starting a podcast.
Starting a podcast together. This podcast is our baby.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got married and then we had a podcast.
We had a podcast baby. So. And y'all are our people. So.
Yes, y'all are all our children by proxy.
Thanks,
but I mean, and I don't know. My thing was, it's like I hated seeing you not happy, and I was like, I have the opportunity to help get you out of that.
Yeah.
And to me, I wasn't tripping because like I already knew. I was like, this is different, and like this is the man I want to spend the rest of my life.
Right.
Like I already knew that. Like it was just like I don't know. It's like we had known each other forever.
Facts. And a little backstory. When you're saying that I'm not happy, I just want to let y'all know. I was just in a household
with a living situation.
With a living situation. I was in a household
clear,
with not me being verbally abused necessarily, but it was just like a lot of verbal abuse, and it was a time in my life where I was just trying to find peace. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like I can't find peace living in the situation that I was living in. You know what I'm saying? And even when I talked to Hayden on the phone, he'd just hear the yelling, and you know what I'm saying? He was just like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? You just worked. I mean, you're tired. Like, you can't even get sleep. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm like, yeah, man, I can't. You know what I'm saying? It was just a lot going on in that situation. So, and I would just tell him, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I always believed and I always had goals. And I'm just like, I'm going to be out of here soon. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm going to be out of here soon. I never was like, oh, can I come stay with you? Like, it was never that. It was never on that.
No,
it was just
definitely
like,
not.
My situation, I've been in this situation before I met Hayden. So I'm going to thug it out and figure it out like I always do. And so he was just like, nah, like, you need to, you know, you're trying to find peace and stuff. That's not going to work if you're in this situation and you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, be good and do good. And it's like, but you're in this toxic situation. So I was like, yeah, man, you're right. You have a point. Yeah. And so I left, you know what I'm saying? And it was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I just feel like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It was crazy, you know, loving to death, but it just wasn't for me for real. So
yeah. And I just, you know, I love you, and I hated to see you. I felt like that situation was holding you back in some ways, and I loved you, and I want to just see you happy and see you thrive. And it's just like, to me, I'm like, look, we're gonna end up together anyway at some point. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, to me, it's like, all right, I can definitely provide you with a living situation that could be like more stable. You know what I'm saying? And allow you to kind of, you know, work towards your goals and get you in a better situation. To me, I'm not tripping, because we gonna end up in this we gonna end up here anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
so
eventually, yeah. So for sure. And I was just like, I don't know, Hayden. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not. You know, I was just like, I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready. But there's never a time you won't be ready. Like you'll never. You can plan and plan and plan, but you'll never actually be ready. So I don't know, man, what made me just take the risk to just leave, but I did, and I don't regret it at all. Like it was the best decision ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, man, I'm grateful and I'm happy to be with this guy. Oh. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah.
Me too. No, for real though. But and I think it's been. And it's been, you know, our relationship has been a journey, and I think it's not been without like ups and downs in a way. I think it's never been a thing where it's like, I don't know. It's like
ups and downs. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, me and Hayden's we had one argument ever, and it was about music. Ups and downs would be, you know what I'm saying? It was the only argument was about music. Mm-hmm. Ups and downs would be like us not knowing how to love one another.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like us not knowing what one another needs when they're having a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Sure. So it's like, damn, you know, he's having a bad day, but he don't know how to express that to me. Or I'm having a bad day and I don't know how to express that to him. That's what we had to learn. That was the most
huge thing.
Frustrating part of our relationship because it's like, damn,
that's true.
I don't know
for a time. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know how to help him because he's not letting me know. You know, and vice versa. I'm a Leo, so I'm stubborn. I'm stubborn. Like, you know what I'm saying? He'll be like, what's wrong? Nothing. I'm all right. Knowing I got a lot of things going on in my head, and
used to piss me off.
He used to be so mad. He's like,
I did.
He used to be like, so how am I supposed to help you if you're not telling me what's wrong with you? And then I'd be like, I don't know. And then he'd do the same thing, and I'd be like, bro, how am I supposed to help you if you don't? You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, all right, let's pause here. You know what I'm saying? And let's talk. What helps you when you're upset? And he would tell me, like, I just need affection. I just need you to tell me. I need confirmation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, okay, cool. I was like, I need space. When I'm upset, I just need space for a little bit. I'm going to talk to you. Just give me a little space. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we learn for real how to, you know, show one another that we're there for, you know, one another. It's different in all aspects and different relationships.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But we just had to find that. And I mean, we've been great ever since. You know what I'm saying?
And it's something, you know, I think we continue to, we continue to grow and we continue to learn more about each other and learn how each other works more and more. Day. But I think, you know, at the end of the day, we know that we are coming at each other with a place of love and trying to help. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and don't get me wrong. Like, there's times when like we'll get like frustrated with each other or some things like that, but we talk about it. We work it out. And
you know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest thing is just having the tough conversations. Like, it's really like, it's such a cliche thing to say communication is key. And I think that's something, I don't know if I've said that before on here, but I've definitely said that before in life. But because for real, it's like, it's so cliche, but it's so true because it's difficult to have the really tough conversations. The conversation of like, I can't talk to him about this because I don't. And it's tough too, because even at first, that was something I think that's something I struggle with for sure. I can say that for sure because, you know, it's like I love him and I want him to be happy and I don't want to like hurt him or do anything, and not intentionally, but I would do that and I would not say stuff or not be all the way 100 with how I was feeling about certain things.
And keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I've told you guys, but I'm a diabetic. Yeah. And sometimes I don't eat right. You know what I'm saying? I'm eating unhealthy. Hayden be like, baby, now he'll be like, baby, you do not supposed to have that. And I'd be like, you're right. I don't supposed to have that. Let me throw this away. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or let me stop eating this because eventually it's gonna hurt me. You know what I'm saying? My blood sugar is gonna go up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be sick. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And so he's like, baby, you're not supposed to have that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And for Hayden, he's such a nice person. He always want to help people out. He always want to be there for people. And you know what I'm saying? He cared too much for people. And I'd be like, bro, fuck them. Like, I'm just keeping it real. Like, fuck them. Like, you know, you always, I got to do this for them. And so I'm like, no, because they wouldn't do that for you.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, no, you got to stop jumping for people. You know what I'm saying? The same people that won't jump for you. You know what I'm saying? And I tell him that, and I teach him that, and I teach him boundaries with people. You got these really people. You got these people in your life, but at the same time, are they there for you? Or are they there for what you can offer them? You know what I'm saying? And Hayden didn't realize that. He would just be like, "Oh, these are my friends. I'm like, yeah, these are your friends, Hayden, but they don't hit you up when they throwing a party. They don't hit you up when they going out to the club or going to a show. They only hit you up when they got music questions, or they hit you up, or they need something. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, we're not about to do that, because I grew up. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna take advantage of me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, knowing Hayden's a nice little, nice guy, and people just want to take advantage of him. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna let that happen. Like, that's out. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, hey, you may have lost friends from that, but I mean, it's about your respect, and like, people need to see you as a person and not just as a person when they need you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think a lot of that for me comes from growing up, and it's like, this is something that I saw. It's crazy, and this is something too that I think I've learned so much in relationships, and especially our relationships. It's like, there's some things that it's like you didn't realize that you picked up, like, and that's the thing. It's like, even though it's like I could see a lot of the ways where my parents or other people in my family, didn't do the right thing in relationships, or made like bad relationship decisions. There's some degree of, when you grow up and when you see and observe love and relationships a certain way, it's like, it's just kind of your intuition, even though it's not good. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that's the thing that's so, it's like something will feel right to you and be wrong for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and that was the thing that was really difficult for me, because I had to realize, like, oh, you know what? The reason is because the reason I'm like that, and I would be that way with you, and you know what I'm saying, in a lot of ways, and you've had to teach me to not do that, because it's
we'll have a conversation. And Hayden's always, I'm sorry. I'm like, you don't have to be sorry. What you said is what you meant. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be sorry. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. I'm gonna learn from what I did wrong, and and vice versa. You'll learn from what you did wrong. But he's always, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, why are you apologizing, dude? Like, it's okay. This happens in relationships. You don't have to apologize every time you do something. You know what I'm saying? And same here. I would be like, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize I did it. And so he's like, you do it too. And I'm like, oh, I do, huh?
Yeah. I think some of that is natural, just because I think at the end of the day, we
do
love each other, and we don't want to hurt each other.
Yeah. No, you're right.
But I think for me growing up, just growing up in a really, abusive and traumatic at times environment, it's, and also too, I think with how, I was raised and moving around a lot, and with my mom, and just, just really not having a whole lot of stability in some ways. I think I would just become overly, I don't know if I want to say overly attached to people, but I felt like I wasn't worth sticking around for, just me intrinsically myself. And so I feel like I always had to bring other stuff to the table to like be worthy of friendship or worthy of love and stuff like that. When it's just like, and that's the thing that's so crazy to me, is because he really loves me for me. You know what I'm saying? And like, that it's weird. Like, it's weird. It's weird to feel that way. I'm serious,
bro. I'm
which is bad.
I'm gonna bring it up, bro.
Do it. This is how real it is.
How, bro? So
Keep it
when we
real.
first met, it was this. I moved in June, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like, we talked about traveling, we talked about all this shit, and bro, he was like, "Oh, you want to go on a trip? You want to do this? You want to do that? You want to do this? You want to do that?" And for me, I was just like, "Yeah, let's go." Like, I just thought, we had the extra money. Man, this man.
We did not have that.
This man, no, bro.
Spoiler
But
alert.
this man was just getting in credit card debt, bro. Like getting in credit card debt, right? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
I'm
was-
just like, Hayden, like, why didn't you tell me? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know his finances. We were new in a relationship, so
Yeah.
I didn't ask him about his finances. That would have been just weird. That would have looked like I was a gold digger. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I
and-
never
yeah.
asked about his finances. I was just like, oh, you got it. Let's go. Let's go to Miami. Let's go take these trips. Like, you know what I'm saying? And come to find out, this man wasn't going into credit card debt.
Yeah, I was already okay. A little backstory to that. I was already in debt because I had gotten scammed, and so I literally had to pay like $5,000 to $7,000 for a lawyer to get myself out of this situation, and it took a long time. And so I was already kind of in a really that really messed me up because it was from somebody that I really trusted, you know what I'm saying, and was really a really, really close friend and mentor of mine. And it really messed me up, I'm not gonna lie. And so I just kind of got in this well, fuck it, you know what I'm saying? And because I had been in credit card debt before and gotten out of credit card debt, and it's just whatever, I'll just deal with it later. And but also there was a big part of that too, because again, I have this thing of and especially because I was I loved you so much, and I was just I was so scared of losing you because I'm used to abandonment. I'm used to losing people in my life. And so I was to me, I'm just well, maybe this is what I got to do to you know what I'm saying? This is what I got to do to keep him or make sure he doesn't go back or doesn't leave or whatever. When it's just no, he was there, but that's the thing. I've never had somebody just be there for me.
There,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not trying to be funny, but bro, I had my own money. You know what I'm saying?
He did.
I have,
He did.
I had my own money. I was chilling, and I was even asking him, you need some money? You know what I'm saying? You good?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was just damn, this would have been all prevented if I would have just asked you. And I'm bro, yes, bro.
Yeah.
I told you I was stacking the whole time. If you needed money, I would have, gave it. You know what I'm saying? Or helped with these trips. But you're just always, I got it. And I'd be are you sure? They're okay, cool. I'll just buy dinner then. You'd be okay, that's cool. But then he's oh, I'm in credit card debt. And I'm just what the fuck, Hayden?
Yeah.
Why didn't you say that?
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because when we got engaged, and especially being married and stuff, it's it's different, where it's our finances are tied together, and that's it was something that at the time it's just I didn't think of the long-term implications of this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's, hey, you know what? It's taught me a big lesson.
Y'all gonna hear this lawnmower. It's okay. At least they're doing their job, man. They're
facts.
They're
If y'all hear
landscaping the area. Don't worry about it. It's just
we do this. We do this in our other bedroom. Okay, we do this in our other bedroom.
Yeah,
this isn't. We don't have a fancy podcast studio.
Right.
We don't have. You know what I'm saying? So
how real it is. You gonna hear
how
it
real
all.
it is
you
that
gonna hear it all, man.
the lawn people, even though it's raining.
Raining. Why are they? That's what I'm looking. That's what why are they outside? It's pouring down right now. And they're
we
outside
gonna get this
cutting
money.
grass. It's rain, sleet, or snow, motherfucker. We gonna get this.
We gonna get this money.
Because I'm just I look at you and I'm bro, they really outside doing this.
I
you
knew
know
it.
what I'm
I could
saying?
I could literally see it in your
You
face
see
exactly what you were
I got
thinking.
irritated. Y'all probably saw it too in my face. I'm just what the fuck? But anywho,
Whatever, man.
Yeah, man. It
How
is
real
what
it
it
is.
is. They getting their money, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. It was just again, Hayden was just. He's a caring guy, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just dude, you don't have to. And that's what he said. I just wanted to impress you. I'm bro, you don't gotta impress me, bro. I come from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? I come from eating Thai ramen. You know what I'm saying? Coming from living in the projects. You know what I'm saying? Nothing impressed me. You didn't have to, try to do this to impress me. I know you wanted to, you love me, you care about me, you wanted me to see better in life, but I didn't want you to go in debt for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, but we're good, and we're knocking
it's cool.
it out.
Yeah, we're knocking it out.
Yeah.
We're chipping away at it, and you know, we're doing it together, and that's the thing too. It's just like we're a team, and I think, you know, even when we have like arguments or anything like that, it's always a us versus the problem, and not us versus each other.
Real facts.
And I think that's something really important, because I really, you know, growing up, I saw a lot of like, you know, especially with like having, again, both of my parents have been divorced twice. So it's like, I've seen a lot of, you know what I'm saying? And us, you know, like me versus them type vibe.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, and that's not it. It's not, I've learned that that's not good.
Yeah, no facts. And,
that's not good.
And for me, I never personally learned like how to love someone, but I knew how I wanted to be loved, and I know how I wanted to love someone. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it was like, oh, I never seen anybody. I'm just keeping it real. My family, I never seen nobody just be like, oh, like, we're in love. Like, you know, so I never seen that. But you know what I'm saying? I did go to summer camp, and I seen how people treat each other. And, you know, that's how I wanted to treat someone. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, not being, you know what I'm saying, just being open and communicating and talking. And if something bothering you, you be open and honest and tell them what's bothering you, and we can make it better. I never was just like, oh, like, you know, I never seen anybody who was just like, oh, we're in love and this is great. And I never asked any of my peers or family members like, oh, how do you love somebody? You know what I'm saying? I just you know, I've just peeped it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, it was real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, like, you know, so for me, you know, especially when I'm, you know, in a relationship, I'm just like, damn, like, how am I supposed to? And there was no other way but to ask Hayden, like, what do you need from me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's really good. I think that's something that's really important, because, I will say one thing too, with us being gay, it helps in a way, because I think what I've seen from a lot of straight couples is that there's a lot of these kind of ideas and preset things about relationships, that just because you're a man, you do this in a relationship, or because you're a woman, you do this and this in a relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
And the thing is like, when both parties come in with these preconceived notions about all of these things, it's like there's already these expectations on each other that you don't, I think, even realize that you have. And for us, it's like, I never had that. I never knew of anyone who was openly gay growing up. Like, we've had to figure this shit out.
We've been figuring it out.
We have been.
You know what I'm saying? Like, again, you know what Hayden just said, it's like, okay, you know, when the trash needs to be taken out, the man's supposed to take the trash out in a straight relationship. But it's like, Hayden, the trash or we'd be like, oh, the trash need to be taken out. I'd be like, oh, I got it. Or he'd be like, oh, I got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, just little stuff like that. It's like, okay, I'm going to take the trash out. Like, you know, and there's people who ask us like the dumbest shit. Like, who's the man in a relationship? Who's the woman in a relationship? I'm like, what the fuck?
I hate that.
Nobody is the man or the woman in a relationship. When shit needs to get done, it needs to get done. That's like, that's dumb as hell. Like, oh, the light bill need to be paid. Who's gonna pay the light bill? The man? No, bitch. We're gonna be out of light if I don't pay the bill or he don't pay the bill.
Right.
It's whoever got it. You know, or who, you know what I'm saying? It's never been that. That's what I'm saying with us. It's always been. It don't even gotta be 50-50 with us. It's like, nah, you know what I'm saying? It's like whoever got it. I
say, and this is one thing too that like was a big thing for me that I've learned with marriage, especially. It's like, it's not. I think a lot of times we get this idea that it's 50-50, but it's 100-100. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes my 100 is not as much as his 100 of what he can do right now.
Right.
And vice versa. And I'm not even saying just money. I'm just talking period. There's sometimes when it's just like, you know, I'm going through some stuff, or I've got other shit in my life that's like really bothering me, and I may not have, you know what I'm saying?
The energy to do.
Yeah, and there's times when and that, like, literally just yesterday when it was just like, he's not doing well, you know, so he wasn't feeling good, but I was also, you know, not feeling good in my own way at the time. I was really, really upset emotionally about some stuff, and even though he wasn't doing good, it's like he took time to help me, you know what I'm saying, get ready, and just little shit like that it's just like, wow. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, because again, at that particular moment, you know, his 100 might have been a little bit more than mine. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, even earlier that very day when you were sick and not feeling as good, it's like my 100 was better than yours, and that's okay, you know? And I think it's understanding that. And I think too, it's one thing that we've learned, because we have some friends that are getting married this year, and one thing that they've asked is, you know, like, what advice would you have about marriage? And this is one of the things that I said to them. It was that one thing I think we didn't realize is when we came into marriage, we both had these preconceived ideas of what marriage was and what marriage was like. And also too, it was like, it's almost like they're subconscious, you know what I'm saying? It's like you don't even realize those are there. But I think just because of how we were raised and how we grew up and what we saw, just because we just don't, even for me, I'm just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, we're trying to, in a lot of ways, figure this out. And it was tough because I think at first, like, especially those first 3 months were like low key, like kind of challenging. It was, because I think we both had our own ideas of what expectations, marriage would be and what it would be like. Right. And it's like you kind of had, and then we kind of both realized it's like we kind of got to let those go. Like, exactly, we had to let it go, because it was like, come on, like, we're married, but we were great when we were just boyfriends, you know what I'm saying? It's like, just keep that same energy, and just, you know what I'm saying, it's like, it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Just because it's a title behind it don't mean nothing should change. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, keep going. The way we were treating each other before we got married is the same way we should keep treating each other, you know what I'm saying, no matter what. And I think too, it's you know, obviously marriage does take it a step deeper, definitely in a lot of ways, but also too, it's I think again, I think letting go of just a lot of those preconceived ideas of like, oh, we're married, so now X, Y, and Z. And you got to do this, so because we're married, we got to, you know what I'm saying? No, it's like, nah. Like, you got, like, and that's the thing too, like, I don't like when people give blanket, like, blanket specific relationship advice, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense, but basically it's, you know, somebody's like, oh, well, you know, you always got to make sure, you know, it's like happy wife, happy life, or other things like that, which is like, there's maybe a slight grain of truth to that, in a way of just like, okay, I want to make my partner happy. But again, it's just like, it's both, it's a two-way street. Make each other happy. You know, and I don't like it, because I don't know. I see a lot of like older, like, especially like a lot of older married men, like, oh, the old ball and chain and all this other stuff, and I'm just like, bro, it sounds like you like hate your spouse. Like, that fact, like, that shit is so crazy and cringy to me. And I hate because it's just like, what, like, talk about their spouse, like, it's just like, it's weird. Dude, I could never be me, like, bro. I don't understand that. I hate that shit. I see it all the time. Oh yeah, the wife is nagging me, blah blah blah. She gets on my nerves. It's like, bro, well, do something. Talk to her. Communicate about it. Like, you talk to her. You know what I'm saying? I hate that. That's so cringy to me. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like, you know, it's just like, damn, dude, you talk so bad about her. Yeah, it'll be really weird, because like, sometimes people will take relationship advice or give relationship advice just because they've been married for a long time. And it's like, yeah, but y'all are both miserable. So it's like, is that really the type of marriage that like, no, facts. I want? No. Or people, you know, or we just get negative people all the time. Just like all the time. Just like, oh, marriage doesn't work, or blah, 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 blah. Y'all should have just kept going. Like, it's being in a relationship, because, you know, it's just like, no, marriage didn't work for you, or this didn't work for you. Don't mean it's not going to work for us. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing I think kind of where I was getting at a little bit too, is just relationships are not one size fits all, because we're all different. Everybody's different. Each individual is different. Right. Like, we all have our own, like, worldviews, things that we like, personality traits,
Facts.
things that we are. And so it's just like something that works for one couple or one relationship won't work for another one.
Right. And honestly, we wouldn't have got married if we wasn't ready. Like, I'm just being real. Like, you know, we were so open in communicating to the point where we would check in every 2 weeks. Like, you still want to do this?
Yep.
Or, you know, what's
literally.
going on? You want to get married still? He's like, yeah, I do too. And I was just like, okay, well, let's do it. I still want to get married. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, we would talk about it amongst ourselves all the time. Like, even like literally even before we got married. What time we got married? 5:00? Was it 5:00?
Or 6? I don't know. I
5
think
or
we had to
6,
get there
but
at 5.
we were talking at 4:30.
That was
Like,
a lot. That
you
was
still
crazy.
want to do this? Like, I wouldn't have cared. I wouldn't if he would have been like,
Yep.
I wouldn't have cared. We would have called it off right then and there, and we would have said we're not ready right now.
Yeah. It wasn't like a we're done. It's not like we don't not
we
wanna
wasn't
be together.
we don't want, but it was just like, are you sure you're ready to get married? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? We would have just called it off right then and there and wouldn't have been upset at all. We would have still had the party, and after, like, I don't care, like, because at the end of the day
We paid for all that.
We paid for that shit, but at the end of the day, it was just been like, oh shit, family and friends is here. Let's just celebrate that. Like, you know, life is short.
Yeah.
We got our family here. Let's just celebrate that. Next time when we're ready, we'll be ready. But yeah, man, it's just
Absolutely. And I think, you know, again, just going back to just, you know, figuring this shit out as we go. And the thing is like, we have to communicate. We have to talk about. And I mean, it's literally like, it'd be some tough conversations and some things that it's just like, but if I keep it real, you know what I'm saying? If we keep it real with each other, then it's like we can actually have a conversation and get to a solution together.
The root of it. So
that's the thing.
I got a question for you. So what's one of the biggest lessons you learned since we've been married?
Man, there's a lot. That's tough. Because there really is a lot.
Yeah.
I would say one of the biggest things is I've learned that, and I'm still kind of learning this, but like, I'm worthy of love. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, the way that I am, like, just me intrinsically, Hayden, not Hayden, the producer or songwriter or bartender, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, music business, whatever, like, not any of that.
Yeah.
Hayden, the human being. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, is worthy of love.
I fell in love with Hayden, the human being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
something I'm not used to that.
You know
I'm
what
not
saying?
used to that.
That was the person I fell in love with. You know what I'm saying? Everything else was just a plus, but I fell in love with the personality that Hayden had. Like, you know, I fell in love with the vibe that he gave off, you know, just being him. Like, you know what I'm saying? it was never on like, oh, he does music, I do music, we have something in common, let's be together. Like,
okay.
Not at all.
Yo, this is something, because this is something I wanted to bring up, and I know this is kind of diverting from the question a little bit, but I really did want to bring this up. It's just stuff that, because what we're talking about and a lot of things we've talked about, like, that's the real love stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's not that, like, I think a lot of times people get this idea that you just have to have like everything in common, or that you have to have like, no, because we're individuals, and that's actually, I'm glad that we're individuals, because there's a lot of ways that we complement each other, that there's ways that he's different that helps me make up for things that I'm not as strong in, and vice versa.
Example.
Where it's like, where it's like, if we were the same person, it's like, then there's no balance. You know what I'm
like,
saying?
Just imagine Hayden's being all soft spoken and we're in public, and, you know, little story. So when we're on our cruise, we went to, was it Mexico? And you know, they be having their little jewelry and things like that, and they be selling it. So me and Hayden mom, we are like really strong people,
negotiators.
Yeah,
y'all are good
you
at
get
bargaining.
what I'm saying?
I'm not.
And so Hayden mom was like, all right, Hayden, this is what we're about to do. We're about to go in here and we're going to talk these people down. Hayden, if somebody was to tell Hayden like, oh, this costs $200, Hayden's going to be like, all right, and give them the $200. But versus me and Hayden's mom, we gon' negotiate. We're
Yeah.
gonna be like, okay, you said 200. How about 150? How about 125? You know what I'm saying? And so
No. Listen, guys, it's not like that. It's not as simple as that. It's, oh man, like, well, it was my birthday and like I really wanted this and like it's like that.
We're good.
Y'all. Like there's
Yeah,
good.
we
like
got
it's listen. Like it's not just like how about what? No, don't.
Nah.
Let's not downplay that of just how. And they're right. I'm
we walked
very,
in there like we were actors, bro. I was
real.
like, oh, I really want this. It's my birthday, and she was like, well, I only got $100, sweetie. And I'm like, damn, like, I really want that. And we'll walk out the store, and the dude came back and was like, hey. Give me the $100. It's yours. We're
Got
like,
him.
got him. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah,
just like,
I know.
you know, and it was, hey,
I didn't even go
he
in the
just
store.
walked in. Yeah, we
I
were
didn't
just
even go
like,
in the
just
store. I'm just
go.
like, just do your
'Cause
thing.
when we said 150, Hayden would have been like, oh, cool. Yeah, 150. Give him 150. We were like, nah.
Dude, and it would be so bad because I used to be so bad about it because back in the day, it's like mom would try to talk them down and I would try to like talk against her. And mom's like, well, no,
Whoa,
shut
don't
up.
do that shit. Like, you know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if Hayden was like that and I was like that, we would be broke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if Hayden
Yeah.
was soft spoken like that and I was soft spoken like that, we would be broke. You know what I'm saying? But there's times, you know, when I have to speak up for Hayden and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? You know, and
For
this-
sure. And there's different situations,
Definitely
I think.
different situations.
Like, I'm more soft spoken or you're more soft spoken. But that's the thing, you know, it's just like we complement each other. And I'm getting better at that stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because of him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. I think there's a lot of things that you're getting better about because of me. I think that and I feel like that's what good relationships should be. It's like, you know, you should help each other grow, you know, because I think because we're growing, you know what I'm saying? Like we're always growing. And to me, it's like you can either help your partner grow or you can hinder them, you know, not even really realizing it, but I've seen that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people who it's like they get in a relationship or they get married and that's it. It's like their life's just kind of over. They just, you know what I'm saying? Like all the stuff, like there's so many people that I went to school with or that I was doing music with back in the day.
It's over.
You know what I'm saying? Like they
Just
got a
gave
relationship,
up.
they got their little job and their little family and they're super comfortable and stuff like that, which, you know, that's okay if that's genuinely what you want to do, like deep down in your heart. But to me, it's like when I see some people who I know are just so passionate and cared so much about some of that stuff, it's just like, you just go and give that up. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. It's like, I think a lot of times people feel like they have to give that sort of thing up to be in a relationship or to be with somebody or something like that. And it's like, A, you don't, and B, quite frankly, I don't think you should. I don't think the right if like Stan would not be the right person for me if he wasn't pushing me. And in fact, he pushed me to finally release music as an artist for the first time. Like I've literally been like rapping and writing music and producing and all that stuff since I was like between the ages of 14 to 16. And I finally put out stuff as an artist in 2022, I think.
2022, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And
for the first time.
he's like, like I got this song, but I don't think it's good enough. Or I got this song, but it don't sound good. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, drop that. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you would be like
you're
you
tripping. Like,
drop that
drop it. Like,
right
if
now.
you don't drop it, I'll drop it. Like, for real. And it's just
and I
like,
was
come
just
on,
like,
bro. Like,
damn, maybe he's right.
Yeah, you're right. Why would you have all this music and you just doing it for what if you're not going to drop it? It don't matter. It, you know, someone's going to like it. Someone out there is going to like it. And I
needed
it.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I needed that. You know what I'm saying?
You're such a perfectionist and you just feel like, oh, this is not good enough. It's like, bro, nothing's good enough. I grew up in a situation where it's like anything I did for me personally, I just felt like it wasn't good enough, but I had to give it my all and I had to give it my effort.
Yeah.
And hey, I came out on top. All the time. So
and I think that's one thing too that we've learned even from doing music, because it's like I think we balance each other out, because for him he's just like, all right, cool, fuck it, I'm just gonna put it out. But for me, I'm just like, all right, cool, but let's try to make this as good as we can. You know what I'm saying? And there's a middle ground, and I think that's the beauty, is that we help each other find that balance in so many areas of our relationship. And I think And that's what's great. And I think that's what's great about each other. You know what I'm saying? And I love you for that. And I love you in general.
Same. And I love you too.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, so I don't know. Any last things you want to say to the people about love, about
love.
relationships?
Don't let anybody tell you what love is. You know what love is. If you know what I'm saying, just keep going and you'll find love. But first, love yourself. Like,
yes.
Really, for real. I'm not just saying as you might be like, oh, it's cliche, but no, for real. Like, love yourself, because no one's gonna love you the right way unless you love yourself.
That's 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's 100% true.
It took me a while to realize that. Like, you know, I'm keeping it real. I didn't get love much growing up. You know what I'm saying? But it was a point in my life where I was like, oh, I gotta love myself before anybody else can love me. Because if I don't love myself, how could someone else love me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I figured it out myself. You know what I'm saying? I figured it out myself. It took a little while, but I eventually figured it out myself. And I love myself, and I wouldn't be able to love Hayden the way I love Hayden if I wasn't able to love myself.
Yeah. And vice versa. Because I think if you don't love yourself, then you're going to be looking to fill that up or complete that with somebody else. And that's like, every time that I've tried to do that, it's ended bad. And that's how all of my family's bad relationships have been, because there's been this thing that that they feel like they're lacking. And it's like, I gotta find someone else so I won't be lacking anymore, where it's like, no, if you're lacking in that, you're still going to be lacking, but just with somebody else.
No, facts. And it's like two people that don't love each other.
Yeah, and you're going to attract those type of people too, because I did that at first. For real.
But yeah, man, it's like, oh, I don't love myself. Hayden's like, I don't love myself either. It's like, how the fuck can you love me?
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, be comfortable with yourself first, and then go out and find love. I know a lot of people, I mean, again, just like the Facebook, we're going to get them. The Facebook haters, all the people that every time we post pictures,
Singles Awareness Day.
Single Awareness Day. This day sucks. It's like, you going to make it suck. You're going to make this day bad because you don't have a significant other or someone to buy you flowers or chocolate on Valentine's Day. So you just feel like, like, you know what I'm saying? And the best part about it is the chocolate goes
on sale the next day. Come
bro.
on,
like,
dog.
Again, like, you know, so it's like,
get yourself some discount chocolate.
Get some discount chocolate and get you a bottle of Moscato and, you know what I'm saying? And just chill and vibe. Take a hot bubble bath and just chill out.
Do
you
like
know
a spa day or something.
You know what I'm saying? Do something, though. Don't sit here and just be all petty and sad because you're seeing other people on social media celebrate the love that they worked hard for to get. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. It's not about them. You go out all these places and all these other people are out on Valentine's Day dates and lovey-dovey and you're all depressed. Guess what? They're not worried about you.
They're not.
At all.
They're really not, because we're not. I'm sorry. We're
not.
We're not worried about you. It's cringy as hell to see people post how much they hate Valentine's Day, though. And you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, come on. Like,
yeah. I mean, even when I was single, it's just like, I wasn't hating on it, but it just kind of be another day. And I'd be excited about the discount chocolate. I'm not going to lie.
Facts.
So,
especially those, what's those called? The
Reese's Hearts?
No, the Lindors.
The truffles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Ferrero Rocher. I know what you like.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry. But yeah, anyway, I guess all in all, love yourself, y'all.
Love yourself.
That's the most important person you can love this
you.
Valentine's Day, and the most important person that can love you this Valentine's Day is yourself.
You.
Yes.
So,
all right,
man. This is How Real It Is.
How Real It Is.
Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and send it to a friend.
Yep. That's right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed this. Again, if there's any other topics you guys want us to cover or anything like that, please let us know in the comments.
Yes.
Because again, we definitely take suggestions, and we 100%, if it's something that, you know, I think fits with what like the podcast is, 100%. We're always up. We're new, so we're down. If you got any advice for us, you can DM us on Instagram. Yeah, for real.
You can comment, and we would definitely take your advice for sure. We're not one of those, we know it all, because we don't. You know what I'm saying? This is what, episode
4. Yeah.
So, we still learning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just want to wish everyone out there, even the single people, happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
We love y'all. And if
We
no
love
one's
y'all
ever
too.
told you today that they love you, we love you.
We do love you.
All the time.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Peace.
We out.
We out.
How real it is. How real it is. How real it is. How real it is. Hey, yeah.
Yeah, man. So be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms at How Real It Is Pod.